Amit Shah's statement in the parliament
Hmm.
that why do you take the name of Ambedkar so many times? This is not a statement just made out of, slip of tongue or anything. It has been a long strategy of RSS and the internal core ideological forces of BJP. It is a spiritual organization. There is RSS behind. There is Vishwa Hindu Parishad. And this whole slogan, even within their own party, Dalits or Adivasis who were influenced seriously with Ambedkar, if
Hmm.
they say Jai Bhim,
Hmm.
they cannot accept it.
In the wake of Parliament's spirited debate over what the Constitution means, the government and the opposition are grappling with each other, quite literally, in fact, in the name of B.R. Ambedkar. At the center of the row is Union Home Minister Amit Shah's remarks, in which he referred to B.R. Ambedkar and mocked what he suggested was Congress's lip service to Babasaheb. So, what he said and loosely translated is that there is this, it has become fashionable for the Congress to repeat Ambedkar, Ambedkar, and if the opposition had taken God's name so often, they would have reached heaven. So, this has given enough ammunition now to the opposition to target the government for what they call an anti Dalit mindset. It gives them an opportunity to reinforce their newfound sort of social justice plank. I'm now joined by Mr. Kancha Ilaiah, who is a Dalit rights activist and an author here on the program. Thank you, Mr. Kancha Ilaiah, for joining us. Thanks very much for giving
Thank you
us.
very much for having me here.
Thank you, sir. I want to ask you, the reality is in more than 30 years of his public life, B.R. Ambedkar contested the ideas and actions of almost every major political stream of his times, including the Congress and the Jan Sangh and the Mahasabha. The Congress's ideology actually clashed with him a number of times, a number of occasions, and as is the fact that the BJP also, in terms of the Hindu Code Bill, uh, pushed Ambedkar to resign from the Nehru cabinet. All of that is part of history. In the light of this, would you concede, Mr. Ilaiah, that much of what you see today is kind of rhetoric, and history doesn't bear out either side when it comes to displaying their loyalty or their allegiance to Baba Saheb Ambedkar?
Well, you know, Amit Shah's statement in the parliament
Hmm.
that why do you take the name of Ambedkar so many times?
Hmm.
Instead, if you were to take the name of God, you would have gone 7 generations into heaven. Now, this is not a statement just made out of, slip of tongue or anything. It has been a long strategy of RSS and the internal core ideological forces of BJP that Ambedkar is emerging a much stronger spiritual leader in the country. He is not just constitution writer or political thinker or legal pundit, but he is carving out a divine status for himself. Now, when the Congress party, under the leadership of Rahul Gandhi, has taken up the idea of caste census
Yeah.
and removing 50% Supreme Court cap further reservation, and then constantly talking about the danger to the constitution that Ambedkar has written,
Hmm.
has more and more been irritating the BJP leaders. Now, what is the history of relationship of Congress and Ambedkar? And what is the history of relationship of BJP or Janasangh earlier, or RSS, Hindu Mahasabha earlier. Now, there are two important, significant stages of Ambedkar that have changed the liberation course of the Dalits, Adivasis, even all Shudras who were slaves in the Rigvedic period, in the Ramayana Mahabharat period, and the entire period of Manudharma, hegemonic laws, implementation, and Kautilya state. Now, two important things that Ambedkar could do. One, Ambedkar became the chairman of the drafting committee of the constitution
Hmm.
as a member of Constituent Assembly because of his legal stature, because of his scholarship, and because Gandhi and Nehru accepted him as an unchallenging legal pundit. Therefore, he got the opportunity to write the present constitution for a very complicated, multi religious, huge caste system problem, and a country surrounded by all dictatorships around. Now, the second major step that he could do, took because of the then Congress government and also Nehru's understanding of pluralism and so on,
Hmm.
was his conversion to Buddhism in 1956 with
Yes.
almost 40 lakh people at one public meeting.
Hmm. Hmm.
And in that meeting, he took vows that go entirely against the RSS BJP spiritual
And
agenda.
that is my question. That is why I'm curious. Why is the BJP now, trying to appropriate Baba Saheb's legacy as somebody who relinquished Hinduism? How does it serve the Hindutva agenda? Because from what you tell me, obviously, if you look at history, it was something. And here is a man who actually gave up Hinduism, and it does not suit or does not align with the current policies of the BJP at all to make him a mascot for them. Yet the BJP is going hammer and tongs at this point of
Yeah,
time. So there is
the
a
reason was
political
this. The reason
cause
was
behind.
this.
Yeah. Hmm.
During Mandal time in 1990, I was one of the persons from backward class fighting the Mandal agitation issues at that time. We were for Mandal.
Yeah.
BJP, Congress, Rajiv Gandhi, all of them were opposed to it.
Hmm. Hmm.
And subsequently, the Mandal movement defeated the anti reservation agenda of both the ruling forces. And Arun Shauri kind of intellectuals hated the presence of Ambedkar's banners, posters in the streets and in the universities. And he
Hmm.
wrote a book called These People Are Worshipping False God, called Ambedkar. He has not written the constitution. But in the post Mandal era, till 1990, when BJP came to power with huge number of alliance parties and could rule for 5 years, they did not realize that Ambedkar was so seriously deepening in spiritual realm, social realm, political realm. He was becoming God to millions of Dalits. So they thought that they will win 2004 election, but they did
Are
not.
you saying, Mr. Kancha Ilaiah, it's a political compulsion for the BJP today to embrace Ambedkar? There is no choice because the political survival of the party depends largely on this vote bank, which we have seen in the last few elections have served them well, have held them in good stead. Held them in good stead. It has slipped away from the Congress, which used to be a
Yeah,
steady
see,
Congress vote bank.
it
Is
is
it a
a
political compulsion for the BJP?
you are right. It is a political compulsion in a situation of On the one side, there was Muslim minority, some sort of a homogeneous vote. Then the
Hmm.
Dalit vote was also was with the Congress. Adivasis by and large were Congress. The Shudra OBCs were mostly with the regional parties.
Yeah.
And having seen this carefully, in 2013, BJP had to bring in Narendra Modi with an OBC certificate
Yeah.
and tell the OBCs that we are for you, you vote for us. We are for reservation. We don't oppose
Yeah.
reservation. And they went on telling Narendra Modi himself took a big yatra in Gujarat on elephant with both Constitution and Ambedkar in his two hands.
Hmm.
This was the first time a BJP chief minister could do. At that time, in defense of RSS, headquarters, he did that because he
Yeah.
wanted to carve out a space. Then in 2013 campaign, he said, "I am for OBCs and lower OBCs."
Hmm. Hmm.
So UP, Bihar, North India, they got convinced that Congress was not giving us that kind of a power position. Here is BJP, which gave a prime ministerial place to an OBC. So they came to power on their own. Now, this, if you look back to BJP politics, never in any public debate, any public forum or any public procession, you find Ambedkar photo in their banners,
Hmm. Hmm.
right?
Yet
But
today the
Narendra
Prime Minister
Modi,
says that if it was not for Babasaheb Ambedkar, he would not have been in office. Today, the BJP says that if there was any party that respected the economics, the politics, the ideology of B.R. Ambedkar, it is the BJP, it's not the Congress.
no,
Mr.
no, no, no,
Ambedkar
no.
was forced to
What they are
resign
saying,
from the Nehru cabinet and they were
you
opposed to
know,
the reservation policy. How would you
yeah,
respond to that?
they are giving only one example
Hmm.
how Congress neglected Ambedkar. That is the Bharat Ratna issue.
Yes.
They repeatedly say that Congress gave Nehru Bharat Ratna when he was Prime Minister, Indira Gandhi Bharat Ratna, and Rajaji and others. It never gave Bharat Ratna to Ambedkar.
Hmm.
And when we supported, quite interestingly, it is
Hmm.
not BJP government which gave him Bharat Ratna,
Yeah.
which the VP Singh government with an ideological framework of pushing social justice. Mulayam Singh, Lalu Prasad, Sharath Yadav, all these people were forcing him to do this. And implementation of Mandal, giving him Bharat Ratna, and putting his portrait in the parliament. Along with him, VP Singh government also gave Nelson Mandela Bharat Ratna. It is not BJP. But my
Hmm.
question is, now Ambedkar's stature has grown so much.
Hmm.
At one time, Congress thought of giving Bharat Ratna to Gandhi.
Hmm.
When the Congress ideological people said, no, Gandhi and God cannot be given Bharat Ratna.
Hmm.
Now, Ambedkar, if you see his stature, his statues, his books, references, quotations in quotes, he has grown far higher than Gandhi. So it is not Bharat Ratna that is important. Now
Hmm.
what happened is the same Congress which gave him those two important milestone turning issues, Rahul Gandhi as a scion of the same Nehru Indira Gandhi family who were said to have neglected Ambedkar took to his agenda caste census and expansion of reservation. And he is talking that the entire bureaucratic structure in the central secretariat has to change.
Yeah.
This
I'll
has
come to the
irritated them.
yeah. I want to
It
come to
is
the electoral dividend part of it, because, see, the proof of the pudding is in the eating, and the community itself has not really been swayed by this rhetoric. And if you look at the voting pattern again, why is it? If it is really the case that the BJP has not respected the Ambedkar legacy, or what is doing their lip service, why is it that the community is supporting the BJP now over the Congress? That's a question I want you to address, because to what extent is the deification of Ambedkar important for the community? Does it really matter to the marginalized communities, his stature, how he is respected or not respected by one side or the other? But first, let me play out some statements of both the parties. First, the BJP, G. Kishan Reddy,
शेमलेस वो बात कर रहे
speaking about this issue,
अधिवेशन
and
होने
then
के
I'll
बाद
play out the
डॉक्टर्स
Congress
टीम
side as well.
मिलकर निर्णय लेंगे रूम को शिफ्ट करना है ऐसा अभी बताया अभी इंसेंटिव के आईसीसीयू में है क्योंकि बहुत वीक रहते हैं प्रताप सारंगी जी आज भी एमपी रहने के बाद साइकिलों पे घूमकर जनता का सेवा करते हैं ऐसा व्यक्ति के ऊपर हमला करना बिल्कुल गलत है एक अपोजिशन पार्टी लीडर ऑफ दी लोकसभा के नाते ऐसी दादागिरी करना गुंडागर्दी करना अभी तक पहला नहीं हुआ है शेमलेस वो बात कर रहे अगर राहुल गांधी इस जो साथी सांसदों के ऊपर जो हमला किया है इसी विषय पर सारी देश के लिए क्षमा मांगना चाहिए
सर कांग्रेस का कहना है कि ये जो एफआईआर किया गया है ये राहुल जी के अगेंस्ट नहीं है, ये बी.आर. अम्बेडकर के अगेंस्ट है।
बिल्कुल डॉक्टर अंबेडकर के बारे में कांग्रेस पार्टी का सर्टिफिकेट हमें जरूरत नहीं है। कांग्रेस पार्टी जिंदगी भर डॉक्टर बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर जिंदगी भर कदम कदम पर अपमान किया है, कदम कदम पर उनको हर इलेक्शन में हराया है, कदम कदम पर उनको रोका है, कदम कदम पर उनको अलग अलग तरीके से उनको आगे बढ़ने नहीं दिया है। इसीलिए डॉक्टर बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर का जिंदगी भर अपमान किया। वो देहांत होने के बाद भी उनको कोई रिकॉग्निशन नहीं दिया है। जब अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी मिनिस्टर बनने के बाद एनडीए के नेतृत्व में जो आज पार्लियामेंट में उनका जो फोटो लगाना, डॉक्टर बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर जी को भारत रत्न देना, नरेंद्र मोदी जी प्रधानमंत्री बनने के बाद उनका जन्म स्थान से लेकर अंतिम संस्कार तक हर अलग जगह पंचतीर्थ के नाम पर विकास करना, यह भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने किया है।
So there is that claim now that
अब
we are the
भारत के
ones who
लोगों
have
में
actually
समाज चुका
honored
है,
his legacy. Let's listen to the Congress side
उसको
as
वो
well.
मिटा नहीं सकते और ये 12 सेकंड उन पर आने वाले दिनों में बहुत भारी पड़ने वाली है। तो बाकी सब चीजें आदरणीय प्रमोद तिवारी जी ने इस वक्त कही है। अगर मैं संक्षेप में कहूं कि लोकसभा चुनाव इस लोकसभा पार्लियामेंट के प्रारंभ में बहुत सकारात्मक भूमिका से कांग्रेस पार्टी आगे बढ़ी थी कि शीतकालीन सदन के अंदर सारे विषयों पर बातचीत हो। ये बातें हमने बार बार फ्लोर लीडर्स की मीटिंग में की और मैं तो धन्यवाद करना चाहूंगा आदरणीय खड़गे जी का, आदरणीय राहुल गांधी जी का कि दोनों ने चिट्ठी के द्वारा दरखास्त की कि लोकसभा और राज्यसभा में 2 दिन की चर्चा हो। इन दोनों नेताओं की दरखास्त के बाद ही संविधान पर 2 दिन की चर्चा हुई।
So you see, Mr. Ilaiah, the issue here is that Gogoi here is saying कि 12 second बहुत भारी पड़ेगा. So Congress has suddenly found, sort of ammunition to fire, and they are not letting go of it. They're latching on to that comment. But my question to you, as I was putting it earlier, is to the community at large, does it matter? Does it affect voting preferences? We didn't see that happen in the recent elections, if you look at it.
Well, if you carefully look at Amit Shah's statement, Amit Shah's statement is not about the political stature of Ambedkar. He said that अंबेडकर बोलते हैं, अगर भगवान का नाम लेते हैं तुम तो तुम हेवन में 7 जन्म तक रहने का हेवन में जगह मिल, ये they cannot engage with Ambedkar's spiritual status. Their internal ideological framework is that Jai Bhim slogan is spreading so fast into even OBCs because they think that OBCs, Dalits, Adivasis, even EWS forces began to realize that this whole reservation philosophy comes from Ambedkar. So we have to respect him. And then in millions of houses, he has become God. So the other agenda, BJP is not like Congress, just political party. It is a spiritual organization. There is RSS behind. There is Vishwa Hindu Parishad. And this whole slogan, even within their own party, Dalits or Adivasis who were influenced seriously with Ambedkar, if they say Jai Bhim, they cannot accept it. I'll give you one example. Recently, one of the central state ministers' cadre officials, Dalit official, visited a Dalit friend's house. The moment he entered the house, the children in the house, 3 years old, 4 years, 5 years, there were 3, 4 children, I believe, they ran to him and said, Jai Bhim. And this Dalit official said, no, 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 don't say Jai Bhim, Jai Sri Ram. So the whole family, which was worshipping Ambedkar as their god, got shocked. And they were telling me that we did not even want to see him off after that. So there are two different worlds for us. Now, where is this come from? Amit Shah's statement is to spiritually despiritualize Ambedkar and bring him into ordinary leader stature. Right? Now, that is what.
That isn't that a matter of interpretation? Because frankly, when I heard it, I felt that what Mr. Amit Shah is trying to say is that you are simply chanting his name as lip service. You don't really mean it. आप इसको एक स्लोगन आपने बना लिया है और वो मजाकिया उसमें इन लाइटर वेन ही प्रोबेबली एडेड इतने नाम तो भगवान के लेते तो आप जन्नत पहुंच जाते समथिंग लाइक दैट बट आई एम सेइंग दैट the first part of what he said, that you are constantly taking his name without walking the talk, without really meaning it. That's the meaning? That's why I'm saying, isn't this a matter of interpretation? You're saying that there is an attempt to de-glorify, de-spiritualize Ambedkar, knowing the kind of position he holds in the community. But
No. It is not that simple.
We interpret it differently as well.
If you look at Amit Shah's history and growth, it is not Narendra Modi who negotiates between RSS and BJP. It is Amit Shah who negotiates between that ideology and this ideology. So the question therefore is, he put out the internal spiritual ideological framework of RSS BJP within the parliament out. And that putting out, within the parliament out has sparked the whole protests across the country. Not today, not just the Congress, not just regional opposition parties, but the whole Dalit, Shudra, OBC masses are really upset because they have come to realize that this Ambedkar is growing beyond a point, and particularly after Rahul Gandhi, no leader in the country ever could do that. He took both Manudharma Shastra copy and constitution into the parliament, and he had shown them that this is your book, and this is what Golwalkar said about this constitution. This is what Savarkar said about this constitution. So your entire spiritual system is against this constitution, and your entire ideological, historical, evolutionary position is against human equality. And therefore, now they did not expect this from Nehru family person. Now today, now Rahul Gandhi wears a blue shirt, T-shirt. This is blue. This is Ambedkar's. And today, Priyanka Gandhi, along with Kenmozi in the procession, fully wearing blue sari, blue jacket, holding
Mr. Kancha
Ambedkar.
Ilaiah, will it be consequential to the community? Will it benefit? Because, see, ultimately, when it comes to being marginalized, when it comes to being discriminated, the Dalit, the OBC, the SC/ST communities still go through the scourge of caste system. How much of it? Because, if both sides want to be the messiah for the marginalized communities, will it help them, any of this, or will it remain just political rhetoric? That's my
Well,
concluding question.
Buddha's image did not bring much votes. Jesus' image also, even if in America, if you take his image, does not bring votes. Prophet Muhammad's image does not bring votes. The question is, they are not afraid of today's vote power. Today they got vote. But after Congress taking over Ambedkar in this manner, deepening of his spiritual agenda, social agenda, economic agenda, the entire country's edifice that which BJP RSS wanted to keep intact with the, do you know how BJP RSS, including Narendra Modi, are speaking contradictory themes? Today they are saying, we are for Ambedkar. Before the election, in the context of Udayanidhi Stalin, and thereafter, what were they saying? We believe in Sanatan Dharma. Right? What does
Yeah.
Sanatan Dharma mean? Sanatan Dharma means we may give some reservation today. A Shudra has to be a Shudra. A Dalit has to be a Dalit. And an Adivasi has to be an Adivasi. And they opened Ram Mandir. Modi himself
So there are a
has
lot of
gone.
contradictions within, and perhaps if you really question the way you are questioning, all of this will then have to be explained by the ruling party. You can't be both. Like you said, you can't be saying that you believe in Sanatan Dharma and then you embrace Ambedkar, because I believe Dr. Ambedkar was completely against majoritarianism and he left Hinduism as well. So how does it suit the BJP to glorify someone like that? But in the end of it, like I said, the idea is to have all of this lead to some positive outcome for the community, and it should not be mere rhetoric. The caste system has not served the marginalized communities well, and the likes of you has written extensively about the plight of the Dalit minorities. We'll have to leave it at that. Anything in conclusion, Mr. Kancha Ilaiah, that you want to add?
No, you are right. But the question is, in history, Gandhi did not win election, but Gandhi remained much bigger than prime ministers.
True.
Right? Ambedkar did not become prime minister, but today what he is among the forces is a god.
Yeah.
And BJP RSS want him to erase that, remove that spiritualized image and stature of Ambedkar and continue with the traditional Varna Dharma Hindu order while offering certain seats, and they are offering seats to OBCs, mobilizing money from monopoly capitalists and giving them, and little bit of capital that is there with Congress, they are blocking in the courts itself. So naturally, they reduce the whole election to money now and control the whole mechanism now. Therefore, it is not winning. But if only Congress, Rahul Gandhi was, see, I am never a congressman, nor I was vice chancellor appointed by them in any central university. I never had any such power relationship with Congress. But if Rahul Gandhi was not to fight this battle with constitution in hand, owning Ambedkar, and then reservation issue, if they were to get 400 seats, this constitution would have been tossed off. It is
All right.
stalled.
There are many who have contested that view of yours. I've heard you said this before, but we leave it at that for now. Yes, this issue continues to rock Parliament. We'll track all developments closely. For now, Mr. Kancha Ilaiah, thank you for joining us here on Free Press.
Thank you very much for having me on this your show.
Our pleasure.